Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening to Wake Up, Look Up, a podcast where we connect events happening in real time to the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Zach Wyrock, and in today's episode, we're asking the question, should we chase trends? This is based on an article I read in the New York Times this week about Gen Z. That's the upcoming generation, and how frustrated they are growing with what's called micro trends. Now, I don't know how old you are, but the truth is in every generation, there are trends, skinny jeans, baggy jeans, right? Leather jackets or cardigan sweaters. Every generation has things that marked their generation. But in the past, the way that's worked is that there were things that were kind of cool for your entire high school career. So that leather jacket that you got as a freshman stayed relevant when you were a senior. But with the advent and rise of social media, particularly apps like TikTok, where everything is shrunk down into 15 or 30 seconds, trends are coming quicker and they're ending quicker. So the combination of something like TikTok and then so-called fast fashion like Shine, when you put these together, what happens is you get a culture that is getting new trends every 30 seconds and fashion companies that will sell them what they need to be trend compliant for $15. So what happens is you buy an entire wardrobe that in 1 month is no longer cool. And many of the people in Gen Z are saying, you know what, I'm over it. I have had enough. They talk about anxiety. Am I wearing what's cool? Am I still relevant? Am I still going to be popular? But also fatigue that comes from a heightened sense of needing to always be cool. They talk about fear of missing out, FOMO, and status seeking, always worried there's a new trend that they don't know about. And the result of that being that they always feel empty, they always feel a little less than and insecure. And I don't know about you, but from what I remember about being a teenager, I didn't need any help feeling any more insecure. So how can we help Gen Z to think about this? Whether you are a Gen Zer or maybe the parent or uncle, aunt, grandparent, or friend of someone in this age group. Well, the first thing is to understand that chasing all that this world has to offer leads to emptiness. There are some books of the Bible that I think we would benefit as a culture from spending a little more time in, some maybe lesser traveled books that have a lot to say to this culture. One of those is Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes was written by a guy named Solomon who had everything. He was successful, good looking, wealthy, and one of the things he talks about all the time is the meaninglessness of so much of his day-to-day life. Even though he had the ability to chase whatever his heart desired, it often led him to emptiness, and it always will. That's because the culture isn't offering us anything real. They're telling us if you wear this, if you do this, you're going to be cool. But what does that even mean? What the Bible's calling us to is something far more real, something far more tangible. And that is the idea that there's a God who is making this world new, that he wants to start with us, making us new, and then work through us, making us people who actually shape the world into something better. It's a calling of giving, not taking, of using our status as a way to serve others, not having others serve us by giving us status. It's a way forward that leads to contentment. It's a way out of the trap of the fear of missing out. It's true value. That's what Jesus says in Matthew 6. It's true value that thieves and rust and moths can't destroy or get rid of. Listen, what we need to tell our teenagers is that feeling this anxious isn't the inevitable byproduct of being a teenager. It is the very real byproduct of the way they are doing teenagering. It's social media, it's fast fashion. These things are not benign. They're malignant. They're making our kids think that they're just not good enough. We have to say to them, look, in every generation, there are two paths. The path of culture, in the path of Christ. Now, we can't make our kids go down either one of those paths. They have to decide for themselves. But what we can do is lovingly, patiently, winsomely pointing out to them that the very real way they're feeling is always the way you feel when you go away from God, and that God has so much more for them. Chasing trends is a sign of insecurity, but insecurity is a sign of not knowing how loved and valued you are by the God who made you, by the God who wants to save you, and by the God who wants to include you in his kingdom. We should at least be saying that to our kids in the hopes that one day they won't just get tired of trends, they'll get tired of not having Jesus. Hey, thanks so much for watching this episode of Wake Up, Look Up. While you're here, take a minute to like and subscribe. It really helps us get the word out. Don't hesitate to leave a review wherever you might find this podcast on an audio level and help spread the word. And hey, while you're here, check out all the other content we have at Christ Community Chapel on YouTube. Some of those videos are popping up on the screen now. Click on one.